6.95 times damage multi. Okay, let's take a look. Goodbye, group. That's what I'm talking about. Frost is just so nice now with this new Arcane. Then health conversion, like, you're taking no damage because you have 2k armor or higher, which is around 90% damage reduction. And then you've got adaptation, so it's, yeah, it's just nuts. So Ember and Frost are pretty ridiculously overpowered right now. If you mod them and put a little work into them, you can just get phenomenal damage, survivability, and kills per minute. They're also really fun to play. For instance, grenade launcher! Whee! Got yeeted. Very fun little underrated Incarnon gun. I have my trusty dragon pet as well, or at least skin. Death Cube with energy generator for extra energy orbs, proccing all the time, and exothermic with Inferno, or is that what it's called? Yeah, Inferno, proccing energy orbs all the time as well. Look at that, just beautiful. And there's more dragons doing our bidding, freezing enemies, preparing them for crits they're about to receive. Yeah, it's just beautiful. The drain on Immolation Aura, you can barely feel it now. It's, your energy just stays capped basically, especially if you play like this. And that was one of the most annoying things about Ember, and now she's smooth as hell for base Steel Path. You still won't stand up to 14 million hits to your health, but that's why I've built her for shield gating with Brief Respite. And have a look at this. I showcased it in another video too, but Harmony is just ridiculous with Ember because you're putting fire on, and Harmony condenses all of those fire procs into a single instance, and then everything around you melts because you're spreading it with melee influence. So yeah, really fun, really nice. Oh, an Acolyte has come to die. Okay, let's give him his wish. Cheesy iframe, bro. Let's get up close and personal. Look me in the eyes. And there we go, Mob Sweeper. Wonder why they didn't get one shot. Sometimes influence doesn't proc. I usually run this with Arcane Strike, which gives you 60% more attack speed, but here I'm running Arcane Energize and something like Augmented. I don't even know what my second Arcane is. Yeah, if you want to make it more melee focused, then run Strike and do insane damage. Spread a bit of status first and run Strike. And look at that, our energy just stays capped with 90% damage reduction. We don't need to, you can also generate the 90% really fast. Just a few meteors. And extra cool, you can actually use Fireball. It now does double the damage while you're shooting with your Ignis Wraith, for instance, and just melt everything. Like, look at that. Stacks up to 12 times extra damage, so let's just see Fireball's damage itself. You will run out of energy if you're spamming this hard, but it can be done. You can build with Equilibrium for even more energy, but yeah. Oh, lucky me. That was off a normal unradianted relic. Okay, cool. So that's basically Ember. I'll show you her build briefly. And then let's move on to Frost. Frost is actually, in my opinion, even more powerful now, but yeah, look, that's just Ignis Wraith and Fireballs deleting those Thrax, pretty cool. Knockdown. I couldn't tell if that was 2 million or 20 million. build up some combo for 20 million crits. At 12 times combo, that's the kind of damage it starts doing. Probably worth going Naramon, actually, because I find Madurai doesn't do that much for this build. It gives you 50% extra cast speed, but I already have a shard on, a yellow shard for extra cast speed. Look at that, all melted, beautiful. Okay, so let's get out of here. Just beautiful. We can look at how quickly our immolation bar is filling. Just instantly back up. No energy problems, and let's get out of here. Wonderful. If you want to know more about this build, then there's actually 2 videos I made. There's one that's called like Dragon's Roar on Ember before this patch, and now she's even more powerful. And there's another one on Harmony versus level cap. If you wanted to stop draining your energy so fast and charging up the immolation meter, just restart Immolate, that's fine. And yeah, anything else to say about Ember? Her conflagration actually allows you to get over 100% more power strength, like depending on how many enemies you have around you. You get 5% strength. You've always, like since her first rework, you always got 5% more strength for every enemy on fire. And yeah, I built 2 extra builds, one with Roar, one with Shock Trooper for making most of glaives. But just good old raw Ember without any subsumes is also amazing. Yeah, that's the Enlightened Hate skin. Let's go take a peek at the build and then chill with Frost, both metaphorically and actually, because his rework, now his 4 and 1 actually chill and freeze enemies through status instead of like the pseudo chill freeze crowd control. Yeah, I really do like her Pyraxis skin too. It's pretty groovy, pretty good. So what madness were we unleashing on them? 1 casting speed shard. You can go even harder with some more shards, and brief respite for shield gating, but also like at high levels, but also adaptation for base steel path, so you don't have to care about anything because you've got 90% damage reduction through this, 90% through that, so you're taking no damage. Use primed flow if you have it maxed. I don't have it maxed, so that's that. Archon Vitality is important for double heat procs, spawn off this too, and Fireball Frenzy is giving our weapons some extra damage. Yeah, this is fully armor stripping all the time. And yeah, I had Fury on there, so should definitely put Strike on for a lot of extra melee attack speed. And if you're worried about knockdown, then either use Handspring or Primed Sure-Footed. Let's take a look at the Ignis Wraith build. 6 Forma, but it doesn't have to be that much. These are what make it cost more Forma. Like you can get away with 3 for sure. And this doesn't actually make that much difference because it's just a 1 out of 5. The main damage is actually coming through the crit multi and Fireball Frenzy. And let's take a look at Atomos. Here the Riven does make a bit of difference, and Secondary Surge is crazy. I didn't even set up my Ember for Secondary Surge. Like, you need a lot more energy. This is for the Frost combo you're about to see. But yeah, you do ridiculous damage. I was getting like 5 to 10 mil crits with Frost. And very nice little grenade launcher. Here's the evolutions. It's also a reason you want more energy. And here's the Harmony build real quick. I explained it in another video, why it works like crazy. Despite seeming low damage, this actually multiplies it by 4, so 400% more damage. And you're proccing status like a madman with that, and red critting with this. All the more reason to actually go Naramon 200% more damage on ranged weapons, 50% crit through melee, double combo generation through opening slam. You have to aim like 45 degrees in the distance, and it still works. Even if you've whiffed it, you can slam or heavy slam onto the ground once you've transferred to Warframe out of operator, and it will still activate the opening slam, so that's quite nice. And Death Cube with energy generator, as mentioned. Death Cube drops an energy orb after assisting in 10 kills. He's always assisting in 10 kills because our Varglass fires so fast that it's just constantly proccing, constantly up. We also generate clones. The clones make us get even more energy orbs, and Contagious Bond procs the status like nuts. Momentous Bond and Primed Regen keep the Death Cube up at all times because we're basically insta-giving those Eximus, and then the pet is invulnerable for 10 seconds or more if you bother to max this. Yeah, Manifold Bond also gives us some shield gating because we're constantly killing enemies with 3 or more status. This has like a cooldown of 5 or 6 or 10 seconds or something, but it has 0 cooldown, so yeah, shield gate like nuts, and everything else pretty self-explanatory. GG. Here's our Varglass build. As you saw, I was using cold, and they were getting frozen, so 10 stacks of cold stacking up extremely quick. The fire rate coupled with status, so 15 shots a second and 100% status chance per shot. Dominantly cold, but also some nice corrosive. Means we don't have to even spam armor strip, because this is doing it for us. Shivering Contagion applies the cold like a gloom, pocket gloom effect, and yeah, if you missed the dragon, get it next time. There are some other kind of cute skins you can get too, I guess, like Lloyd, pretty cool, and Verdi. But let's move on to Frost, now that I've shown you. Ember. Frost is so good. No, I actually put Wrathful Advance on him, but there's several builds we can play with Frost. Let's just go and take a look at something everyone can get. So Marked for Death, and the synergy between Secondary Surge, Marked for Death, and Biting Frost. We always have enough energy through Arcane Energize, and Arcane Battery now actually gets us up to like 1,000 energy with health conversion and Frost's new passive. We're gaining a lot of armor because we're inflicting cold on all the enemies around us. Yeah, let's go see it in action. It's the Vectus build I'm using. You gain energy on headshot kills, which happens a lot. And tiny bit pricey weapon. Ribbons are cheap though because no one uses it. It's something like 70-80 plat, but it's a really good sniper. And here's the build I'm using with my Zor. Seems like a sold exposure, lol. Gotta keep that plat rolling. And yeah, here I would keep Madurai on, because you don't need more weapon damage, but the 50% cast speed and 40% strength is super nice. And I'm using Nautilus for grouping. Same trick with Manifold Bond, shield gating, and grouping resets the cordon because we're just insta-giving entire groups. Do actually need to have the contagious one on though, cause, or do we? Let's keep it at tenacious, I guess, yeah. Sure, why not? And go to a mirror defense, I guess, just to showcase Frost's incredible new powers and how they're extremely useful now, actually. So Deimos, oops, not Sanctum Anatomicka. We want to go for a mirror defense solo run. Okay, here we are. And this is so nice that you can just instantly swap all of the loadout configs, the builds on your pet weapon, all your weapons. Only thing you can't change is Exalted Weapon, config and your operator school instantly. Those you actually need to do differently. So here's a little trick with Frost, right? Get a sort of trinity effect with your bubbles by moving around the objective. And here I'll show you what I mean. You can fire into the bubbles now. It's sick. It's so good. It's just great. Like, that is one of the best things about this patch. Okay, they just blew up some bubbles. Never mind, freeze them all. Regenerate the bubbles. And look at Atomos go. We don't even have it in grenade mode, and it's already wrecking faces, taking names. They say freeze everything, shoot through the bubbles now. Yes, thank you, GG. And yeah, the new king of defense missions. As if he wasn't good enough before, now he's just sick. Let's have a look at some grenades. Secondary Sarge. I was actually one-shotting Eximus with this yesterday, so pretty sure it hasn't changed in a day. Let's take a look at it. When you cast an ability, Secondary Sarge makes you do crazy amount of damage. And see the Zor in action as well. He is so good now. You just toy with your enemies. You can go and collect these things. Everything's frozen. Our pets are also doing something. And let's just summon some on-call crew, I guess, because I'm feeling lazy. Freeze it all again. Oracle reinforced. Freeze it all again. Grenade. One shot. You don't have to always use an ability before bombing stuff, but if you do, just absolute one shot. Oh, missed. Oh, because it's in its charging up mode now. That's why. Okay, yeah, get it into grenade mode. Kaboom! So nice. If we land a few headshots, we'll start getting red crits for millions. Let's aim for some headshots. So fun and smooth and nice to play now. It's just like, wow. They did a great job with Frost. It might not seem that big, but just having his 4 and 1 and the cold rework, really apply cold and get extra crit damage, really slow them and freeze them is huge. It's just super good. Super nice. Come here, you. Okay, so it's an Eximus. Let's have a look. Almost a one-shot. I didn't have any stacks of like my galvanized mods. You can't one-shot Necromex unless you have a multi-strike melee weapon. Dystopia actually did something totally nuts. He one-shot level 9,999 Necromech with Arum Spinoza, totally unused Warframe type weapon that has insane levels of multi-strike. So the reason you can't one-shot Necromex is it has like absolute damage reduction going for it. So there we go. It's an Eximus. Shame I didn't have my grenade on, but yeah, we can have a look at what we can do to a Necromech like this. Let's put on whatchamacallit, Void Strike. Don't even need to Void Strike, it actually does nothing because of the damage attenuation. Like the cap on Necromech is going to be a proportion of its health. So like I was saying, the only way around that is multi-strike. And violence, okay. You have a nasty reputation, bro, but seems you were a bit hyped up. Some people hyped you up a bit. And yeah, look at the energy Frost has now, 790. He has 1k energy. I'm pretty sure his passive, like through freezing or through applying cold, you get higher energy cap, that it sticks around. It doesn't just... Alright, I'm mixing two things up. through applying cold, you gain armor, but the arcane gives you energy on freezing, and I'm pretty sure that lasts for ages. Like I was saying, you really don't need to pay that much attention to mobs now, because when they're in here, they're slowed to hell. Like, look at that. It doesn't even show them having... Oh yeah, they've got 10 cold procs, and they were just in my bubble. That's all that was going on there. And here we have secondary surge, active damage multiplier, 4.6 times damage multi, 7.5 mil crit. See, that's what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Nice. Thank you, Frost. Oh. Can't pick them up in operator mode. Not that we even really need them, but yeah. Post haste. Alright, Shakespeare. Someone called me Lloyd recently. I guess that should be honored. Eximus, yay, our favorite friend. One shot. One shot. Legendary. Secondary surge, 5.3 times more damage. And it actually has good multi-shot, so you're only seeing the very first hit, and then it just blows up. So let's apply our helmet, which then does the group damage. And we've modded our Atomos for blast, as you can see. When you kill one, it instantly detonates the blast proc. And then if you're killing a group, chain reaction in the style of Sobek happens. Pretty damn nice. There we go. Super chill frame. 1k energy, yes thank you. I remember playing Void Cascade with Frost, and some guy before this patch was complaining so much. He's like, I have such a low energy cap, I'm using Arcane Steadfast, which lets you cast for free 20% of the time. Gives you 3 casts, but he was just like running out of energy and spamming this Icy Avalanche. It does give you some nice Overguard, 11 million crit, not bad. It does give you some nice Overguard with the Augment, but I think Overguard is overrated. Adaptation does not apply to it, armor does not apply to it, so it's just instantly melted at higher levels. For lower levels, shield gating and armor are... Or armor is amazing for lower levels, and for very high levels you want to go with shield gating anyway, so yeah. Pretty effortless. Look, they just don't touch the defense objective, and we're not even trying very hard. So nice. Okay, final wave. Haha. Yeah, I don't even need to wave, but you get the joke. Next wave, and Angst is chasing us, apparently. Well, that's nice of you, but I need to... I've got places to be, bro. Don't do this to me. I thought we were friends. The only way you can fail defense is by not killing the acolyte that chain teleports you to him. But I think we're still going to be on time, and we even have a frost bubble still up. It didn't touch the Vitrium's health, so that's nice. Let's actually land some headshots. If you charge the headshot with this mode and you land some kills, then the galvanized crosshairs start stacking. Where is it? Galvanized, 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 galvanized. Anyway, you need to land some headshots, and then you get the galvanized crosshair proc. 6.95 times damage multi. Okay, let's take a look. Goodbye, group. That's what I'm talking about. Frost is just so nice now with this new arcane for secondaries and new arcane for frames. Just a beast. Is that a necromech? Oh joy. Let's see what we can do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 4 shots with the Tomos and we deleted its health. Yeah, not bad. 1 minute remains. What else can I show you that's super fun about Frost now? I really don't know. He's just so good. Let's do some melee action with Exodia Contagion for fun. It's like the definition of that song, Can't Touch This. It just you have time for memes, for watching Netflix when you're playing Frost, and you can also take this augment. I'll show you in just a second. You can take this, and then enemies that enter the globe get frozen. But if you have 3 globes, it's a guaranteed freeze, like more than guaranteed, right? 7 mil crits. Yeah, let's get out of here. Review his build a tiny bit more. I don't know. I guess it would be good if I was streaming so I could answer questions instead of thinking of what people might ask. I didn't use my sniper at all, but it does great damage and you can land the headshots more reliably. Avalanche procs primary frostbite really nicely. It's just up constantly at 40 times, and then you have 4 times 3, 120% more crit damage and around 90% multi-shot up at all times, which is pretty huge. Then I think you'd actually even want to put a basic damage mod here. Yeah. Something like that, but that's just a bit of min-maxing. You're still deleting Steel Path with that. So, yeah, like I said, we have Blast now on our Atomos, and it just does so much damage. And Blast, you get 10 stacks of Blast really quickly, because look at the status, 123%. Got a decent amount of multi-shot, 3 multi-shot before Diffusion even procs with its extra 120%, so like 5 shots and it fires pretty quickly. It's like 10 shots per second. Yeah, 10 shots per second. So you're getting max blast stacks really fast, and then the blast detonates for 300%, so if the entire group wasn't wiped out by the raw secondary surge damage, it will be by the blast activation on death. 300%, and then that procs blast on other enemies and they just all detonate and die, and GG. Lethal momentum is helpful because of the grenade mode on Atomos. The grenades are not the fastest. And yeah, I already showed this, but with Wrathful, which I didn't demonstrate, but yeah, with Wrathful Advance and Frost's Biting Frost, you're just getting crits for insane amounts, just really, really crazy amounts. Like 10, 20 million on entire groups. I put Arcane Ice Storm on here instead of Battery because you do not need that much energy then, and you also don't need melee attack speed. You get, like, this is a decent energy cap. Our Frost isn't even max ranked, but it would be 524%. And this procs from Deriga if you want to use that instead of grouping, but if you're using Nautilus like me, then just put normal stretch on. Just sometimes I want to snipe, and then Deriga is nice for that too. Yeah, really just the combination of brief respite, as you saw on Ember, and adaptation. And then if you're lazy or don't have the energy to keep up your shields, then health conversion, like, you're taking no damage because you have 2k armor or higher, which is around 90% damage reduction. And then you've got adaptation, so it's just nuts. Anything else to say or share? Not really. If you want to do hundreds of millions of damage, get Exodia Contagion. And you don't even have to fire it from 30 meters, but if you do, you hit damage cap. If you want to hit hundreds of millions of damage, go Naramon and stack it up to 12 times combo multiplier. Then it won't, with Naramon, the combo will never fade, because it takes a moment to stack up this to that, and get the 50% extra crit for more insanity, stack up your combo extra fast through that. You also get 200% more weapon damage, ranged weapon damage, but it's totally unnecessary. Nothing in the game has hundreds of millions of damage. It's literally just for looking at, just to see what kind of madness can you pull off. And the mobs you need it on, the damage attenuated mobs like the Murmur boss, the Necromegs, you can't do it to them because you need to multi-strike, as I was saying. So that is that.